All right, we are back. Sarah.
In a new location.
As you can see, the backdrop behind us, we're down at the farm. Troy, Laura and King Billy are away. So we have come down to look after the place while they're gone, just for the long weekend. Today is actually Australia Day. So we've come down for the long weekend to just keep an eye on things for them, because I've got some hip campers down here. Yes, and Sarah is back for the first time this year. Now that the wife and I are back from holidays. So, what did you decide we should do for this video? It was your idea. So
okay, so our first video together for 2025. So we didn't really get a finale to 2024.
No, not both of us.
So I decided to do something I've seen on other podcasts, and we're going to do a 2024 recap. So we've each made our own list, and each month of the year we've chosen one memorable moment that we thought was worth noting and bringing up in a recap.
From anywhere around the world, any sort of anything that happened around the world.
Anything that we found interesting, important, or just entertaining.
Frivolous and laughable.
Yes. So we don't know what each other has put on their list. So this will be our live reaction as well.
And a good example of the generation gap here is Sarah's got hers on her phone, and me being born in 1970s, I have mine on the only bit of paper I could find, a rather large, almost like a butcher's paper.
You made a whole poster presentation.
Going to bring a presentation, not with my handwriting skill. Certainly showing my Form 3 education there. So without further ado, we're going to start obviously with January. Would you like to take proceedings off?
Certainly. For January, I had Amelia Earhart's remains were found.
Right.
They were discovered in the ocean, so it, put some closure to one of the biggest mysteries of all time. So I thought that was worth.
Are they 100% sure it is her remains? DNA or... Yeah, wow.
I think they... Did she have any descendants? I don't know if she had any children.
I don't think she had children. She wasn't that old when she disappeared.
I think like her great niece or nephew or something, they've compared the DNA and they've confirmed that it's her.
Right, okay. So and I actually hadn't heard that. And
really? That was massive when it came out.
But they have said, we found her plane and we found this, and on an island somewhere we found that, and it's all turned out to be not real. So maybe I heard it and didn't pay any attention to it. Yeah. But no, I did not know that.
I'll try and find like a credible source. While you go through your...
Okay. Now, for me, for January, there was an Alaskan airline flight 1282, that took off, and the if you see on most planes, they have a front door and a sort of a door further down. And usually on the smaller ones, the domestic flights, they'll only use the front sort of door. They open the front door up and they put the air bridge across, and you just get on and off. With that one, this plane was having some maintenance done or whatever, and it was returned to them with the rear door, or as they call it, a plug, put in, but it was installed with no bolts, which caused a bit of consternation when mid-flight it just went bye-bye and fucked off through the air. They were, I think they were, where did I put it, 16,000 feet up. And a guy named, he's listed on, I think it was X or Twitter, he calls himself Shaunathan Bates. He found an iPhone that had landed on the ground. It was still working, and on the iPhone, an app was still open for the baggage claim for the Alaskan airline flight, for Alaskan Airlines. The baggage claim So this thing has survived a 16,000 foot drop, and it was the second. When he rang up and said, "Oh, I found this phone," it was the second phone that had been found. They still hadn't found the door. So bugger if I know what happened to the door, but they found 2 iPhones, no door. No one died. I'd say many sets of underwear were burnt afterwards without being washed. But yeah, the decompressurised, I've probably made that word up. The decompressurised rapidly, and they dropped rapidly, and people obviously shat themselves and so on. But yeah, that was a good way to start the year. You had a credible source, or?
Well, I found an article from BBC, and it's saying may have just found Amelia Earhart.
Aha!
So,
there have been dozens of these over the years, people's theories, and like, you know, where Jimmy Hoffa is and what happened to Harold Holt and all this sort of stuff. Well, I would love for them to have found her remains and put an end to the mystery. Hold on.
This is from the ABC News. Amelia Earhart. Oh, study suggests. So I didn't read the suggest part. Okay.
So we're getting off to a great start here with some bullshit.
Okay, February. I can see that we've written the same thing.
Oh no! I was hoping you hadn't remembered this one. Hang on, did I put anything else? No, I didn't put, because a couple of them I've put 2 things to go with.
I just read the first 2 words in your notes. I was like, oh no.
But I have a special mention from February for something that I thought Sarah might have put. It was the premiere of a really blockbusting movie called Madam Web.
Oh.
I never saw it, so I'll hand the reaction over to you.
Where to begin? Is the where to begin and
why?
And
Why to begin?
When to begin, and my God, when will it end? Was
Well, you took Danny. You took Dancing Danny with you.
It's based. If you don't know the story of Madam Web, it's she's from the Spider-Man and not the MCU universe.
The Spider-Man universe.
She's from the Spider-Man universe, and her story takes place.
The Spider-Verse.
In when Spider-Man is being born, and she gets raised by the spider people in Peru. And no, she doesn't get raised.
Oh,
her mum. Okay.
The spider people.
Dad.
I don't know anything about the movie because Sarah and Dancing Danny's reactions were so bad.
You're telling me you're not up with the Madam Web comics?
No.
Oh my goodness.
They made comics.
That's what the movie's based on, allegedly.
Oh, I thought it was based on a fever dream, judging by your reactions.
So, in 1973, we have the prologue of the movie where Madam Web's mum is heavily pregnant.
Mummy Web, yeah.
And she is trying to... she's in Peru on this exploration, and she's trying to discover this spider. And she has an assistant with her who mentions like, oh, you know, there are rumours of the spider people who get bit by these spiders and have like superhuman powers and stuff. And she immediately dismisses the idea and is like, this is ridiculous. But however, at the same time, she's searching for the spiders so she's got some health problems and she's worried she's not going to be able to give birth. And she's finding the spiders so she can... No, so the guy says that, you know, if you get bit by the spider, it might give you magical properties. And then,
Right.
But then she's looking for the spider people to save her child, but she doesn't believe in the spider magic because that's too absurd. But the spider people, that's believable.
My only question is, once that was sort of got across to you at the start of the movie, obviously, why you then decided it'll probably get better and you stayed. I would have right there thrown my popcorn at the screen and left.
You see, I paid a lot of money for these tickets. Okay, the village tickets are not cheap.
No, in actual fact, they probably should have paid you to go and see.
To come and see this.
But Danny, I think Danny's reaction was something along the lines of, "Did you like Madam Web?" I think she.
Danny actually has notes that they took on the movie.
Danny wrote notes. I think at the end, Danny said something like they would rather have watched an actual spider's web rather than Madam Web.
She, like the mum, the guy betrays her, right? Spoiler alert, sorry. I know you're all dying to watch this movie. I was dying to get out. The guy betrays her and like shoots her to kill her, but shoots her in the leg, even though she's point blank in front of him. So he doesn't try and aim for the chest or the head. He shoots her in the leg. I don't know if he has like guilt at the last second.
Should have shot the director in the head at the start.
And then so she's on the ground bleeding out, you know, and she starts going into labour because, you know, obviously everything starts happening all at once, you know. So then the spider people find her. They come down from the trees and they bring and they bring her to their lair.
Can't understand why this flopped.
They bring her to their lair in
Lair.
I've always heard lair.
Lair is like lair.
They bring her to their lair in this cave where they baptize her in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the spider like crawl up her and then bite her. But like we've accepted that she's about to die. She's accepted that she's just trying to save her unborn child, right?
Right.
And then the chief Spider-Man, not Spider-Man,
The
chief Spider General.
It's the Spider General, right?
Says to her, she will come find us when she's ready to hone in her powers. But here's the question: why don't they just raise the child so she can learn her powers?
They just go, off you go, son.
Yes, they just send her back to America, where she has no idea about her powers until they start, like, you know, she starts experiencing these visions. So Madam Web's power is that she has visions of the, like, direct future. Like, in, like, 30 seconds' time, she can predict what's about to happen.
And she still went and did this movie. So they're not... They're just... It just sounds awful, but not... Well, I think it would be on par of awfulness with what we've both written down now.
It was so memorable that we've both written it down.
We all know the kids' book and show Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
You grew up with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I grew up with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. It had different names, but it was...
But the new generation... They needed something for the new generation to remember the beloved Roald Dahl.
I mean, everyone cashes in. They all cash in to have and they made an amusement park site thing. It was a place, and they
in Glasgow.
In Glasgow, and they said, we've built a Willy Wonka experience. Kids can come along, and they showed all these images online. Later, they admitted that they were AI generated. It showed, and they advertised it was going to have an enchanted garden, a twilight tunnel, and an imagination lab. Right now, they charged per person £35, which is near on $70 Australian. So it's somewhere in the middle. You'll get the US.
So if you're going with,
it's about $60 US.
If you're going with your family, it's like $280.
Yeah, it's horrifically priced, but. They promised chocolate fountains. Another spoiler alert, there wasn't any. What they were encountered was what some of the people there described as looking like an abandoned warehouse. There was a handful of embarrassed actors standing around, sad props, and a bouncy castle. And these poor bastard actors who were just said, "Here you go, make this work." Were just, they were just as pissed off as the people. Police were eventually called. This is on the opening day of this magical...
The only day.
The only hours. It was only there for... it was only open for a few hours. Police were called because parents were wanting to string people up and murder them. Now, the business, one of the businesses that was running it, that put this on, was called House of Illuminati. So right there, you had a warning. That was the warning that it was all going to go.
It was the indoctrination.
But if you haven't heard of it, look it up. There's some good photos of the inside of the warehouse.
Trivia question, Dad.
Yes.
What was the name of the character that went viral from this event that does not appear in the original book or either of the movies?
It was not mystery. It was like
You're close.
the unknown.
Yes.
It was called The Unknown, and it was a person with a black wig and stuff and a silver face mask
In a black robe
peering out from behind a curtain. They couldn't
from a mirror.
They couldn't get like someone dressed up as Willy Wonka or whatever in
No,
time.
they had someone dressed up as Willy Wonka, and he
Did they?
goes, "What's this, children? Look out! It's the unknown." Everyone's like, "The what?"
I think even little kids were saying "fuck off" because it was awful. And we only saw the pictures of it and heard people's descriptions.
And after the outrage, the actor who played Willy Wonka actually, I don't know if it was on like YouTube or TikTok, but he made a video basically explaining his experience in being from the company and just the catastrophe that followed.
All right, lead us off with March.
March, I'm 100% sure we have different answers.
Oh, I'm 100% sure we've got different answers here.
Okay. I have put Gypsy Rose Blanchard announces her divorce from husband Ryan.
I did see
that?
this in my perusing of things, but as I, like most people with brains, don't know who Gypsy Rose Blanchard
She's
is.
not she's really famous if you're into true crime,
Well,
which you are. So I'm surprised you didn't know who she was.
I
until
knew about that
case.
case of her. She killed her mother after years and years of abuse and so on and so forth. And what it was, she was charged in manslaughter or?
I think it was conspiracy or accessory because her boyfriend at the time actually killed her mum,
Right.
but she was complicit in the crime.
And then she
served 10 years in prison.
And used that to further her internet career, as you do.
Once she got out, everyone was like, "Oh my God, Gypsy Rose is going to be released from prison this year," or it was the year before, I think. And everyone's like, "What's going to happen? Is she just going to try and live a normal life?" With no. So the internet had already given her a platform, and she utilized that, and now she is an internet celebrity.
I mean, these sort of half-wits get out there and do this. It is our fault. We do give this stuff oxygen.
She got married to her husband Ryan while she was still in prison, and
how did that go? Did that go well?
Well, considering what my event just,
It's just predictable, isn't it?
and now she's a mother.
And jeez, the whole thing is just
Well, I wish the best for it.
March for me. In America, they have the government has a department called the United States Environmental Protection Agency. We've got the EPA here in Australia, Environmental Protection Agency, and they, do things like banning of gases and so on that we used to use to like Freon gas that we used to use for refrigeration that burns holes in the ozone layer, and they ban all these things. What do you think they banned last year in March? They said, right, we're not allowed to use this anymore.
To help the environment.
Yeah, to help the environment, to help people, to keep people safe, the environment safe, everything.
Oh God, I don't know. What did they?
I mean, they're not going to ban guns, obviously. They banned. You'd think it'd be something we've just discovered. This is not good for us. They banned asbestos. Last year they banned asbestos in what one person named John O'Connor posted on, I think Twitter, in news you thought would be from 1977. Asbestos has been banned since the 70s as a building product, as something for 40, 50 years.
So what do you mean by they just banned asbestos?
They banned the use of asbestos in America last year. You're not allowed to use it for stuff anymore. Now, if you're renovating a home, and sometimes in the 50s and 60s they used to use asbestos before they realised it could burn holes in your lungs, they'd use it to make like laminate tiles and stuff for the floor. Now, if they discover that it's in there and you then lay another floor on top, that's fine because it's contained, but they banned way back in the 70s the making of any more of this stuff, except obviously America, which that... When I read that, I had to read it a couple of times. But yeah, only in America, that file. Okay.
Do you want to take over April?
Oh, I'll start with
'Cause
April.
I know we definitely have different.
Oh, this one.
This one is like Gen Z coded.
This one is just coded batshit crazy. In Brazil, a woman brought her uncle into a bank in a wheelchair, with all his documentation, his birth certificate, his bank records and all this sort of stuff, to try for a $3,000 US loan. So he's just trying for $3,000 US loan. Staff became concerned about the uncle because he was very unresponsive, not responding to questions or anything like that. So they called an ambulance, who the paramedics then informed the staff there that man had been dead for several hours. Unsurprisingly, she was arrested.
Did he get the loan though?
She wheels in.
Or is that just called the will?
He dies. So she goes, I know what I'll do. I'll whack him in a wheelchair, weekend at Bernie style. I'll get him down there. I'm surprised she wasn't behind him, moving him. Hello, it's me. Like, and she only asked for $3,000.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do something, like go all the way.
I'll be going $300,000. I mean, you're going to jail. You've got your dead uncle.
You might as well try.
It didn't say how he died. It just, because the first thing I ever think of if one of my relatives die is, I'm going down the bank to finally get that home loan or whatever. Just give me a spell.
Okay, I have for April, Jojo Siwa released her song and music video Karma and invented gay pop, allegedly. Do you know who Jojo Siwa is?
I've heard she's a singer, I'm a dancer, I've seen some stuff.
So she's
not my
She
cup of tea,
started as one of the kids from Dance Mums. And
I should have known. Watched that religiously.
Then after Dance Mums sort of was fizzling out, she started on YouTube and became like a really popular children's YouTuber.
Right.
To the point where Nickelodeon picked her up and like she had like her own show on Nickelodeon. And yeah, she got really popular as a children's entertainer. But then last year she decided that she wanted to break away from her child entertainer image and wanted to be a more mature artist. So
right.
she
just some of the clips I've seen on the internet, mature artists that doesn't match up.
She released this song Karma with the music video. And it's so bizarre. It's just hip thrusting and just overtly sexual dancing, but like you're watching a child do it, if that makes it. It's the weirdest thing.
So Jared from Subway was all over it.
She's got her face painted like she's a member of Kiss. She's wearing Michael Jackson's wardrobe. And she's...
I think I saw there was a photo of her. Was it like leopard print pants or something like that?
She's wearing like a black suit, and she's got like Kiss face paint on her face. And then she started saying in interviews how she was creating this new genre called gay pop. And everyone was like, okay. And now she's just kind of become a meme on the internet, and it's really funny. I don't know.
All right. I'll go first again, I guess. May. We're up to May now. And I didn't find a lot for May, but something that did happen for us was that in May we had like an aurora borealis, the southern lights were visible here.
On Mother's Day.
It was the day. It was the
Before
night before Mother's Day, but we technically saw it as it ticked over midnight on Mother's Day. The wife was lying in bed and she saw everyone posting on Facebook and so on. Oh, look at all the pictures and so on. And she said, and then they're saying, oh, it's all dying away. Can't see it anymore. And she goes, oh, well, we're not going to be able to get to go and see it because you needed to get somewhere where it's no ambient light and so on and so forth. And she said, oh, we're not going to be. So I said, oh, okay. So I jumped in the shower. Within 5 minutes of me getting in the shower, she's wrenched the door open and gone, quick, get out, get dressed. We're going down the beach because people started posting again that it was there. So we had to jump in the car, drive about half an hour over to the beach. So, but it wasn't too bad. We got there about 11-ish.
Yeah.
And, it was good. You could only see it through like a camera lens. You couldn't see it with the naked eye. When you held up a camera lens there, the lenses on that could pick it up. And, it was really good. We got some good photos of that.
Yeah, May, I couldn't really think of much either. But then I remembered a meme that became really famous on TikTok.
Right.
The Four Seasons Orlando baby. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, and the
dad's behind the camera, or the mum's behind the camera, and goes,
'cause the dad's
"Who's
holding
going to
him.
Four Seasons Orlando?"
He's like, me.
Do you know the nickname that the internet named this child after this viral video?
Four Seasons baby. I don't know.
Fully conscious baby.
Right.
Because everyone's like, that
Not a real catchy nickname.
that baby's too fully conscious. Why did he say that like he's more like a 4-year-old rather than a 4-month-old?
Perish the thought that he was coached.
So now everyone thinks he's boss baby.
Ah, right. Okay. So yeah, May was a bit of
a stinker.
There was a couple of months there that
boring.
it was hard to find. June for me, I saw another thing that was like the America, in America, should have been banned years ago. This one probably should have been banned, not just 40, 50 years ago, like a couple of 100 years ago. Sierra Leone banned child marriage. So now...
In which country?
Sierra Leone.
That's not helping.
It's not helping.
No.
The thing there, you look at it. It's Sierra Leone. They banned child marriage because they were saying that before they did this, a third of all marriages, a third of all women there were married before they were 18. It was sort of arranged marriages and so on and so forth. And a third of those girls were pregnant and had children before they were 19. So that was a good thing. And I had one other good thing written down there, banning underage marriages. It was good. And another thing I put was the Denmark men's football team, soccer team, all voted to not get a pay rise. So they rejected a pay rise so that their women's team could get equal pay. So, again, not amusing, but factual.
Well, I have something far more important, Dad. Okay.
Right.
Justin Timberlake was arrested for drink driving.
I did see that, and his famous
And,
quote to the officer.
His next quote, again, became a really big meme on the internet. The driver pulled out. So Justin Timberlake is, I don't know if he's still on his world tour, but he was at the time when he got arrested.
Probably. Oh, yeah, no.
And
June, yeah.
And the officer pulled him over, arrested him, and allegedly Justin Timberlake said, "This is going to ruin the tour." What tour? The world tour.
Yeah, the tour was going so well that the officer had to ask, "What tour?"
So now it's it's a meme where if something is mildly inconvenient, you just go, oh, this is going to ruin the tour.
I think it probably takes over from Thanks Obama.
So someone's like, what tour? You just go, the world tour.
Right, July. Now, we put a caveat on July because last year, the in France, the Olympics happened. So Australia was pivotal.
That's next month.
No, it was July.
It happened next month. It went viral next month.
Yeah, but it went viral next month. But in July...
July is when the Olympics started, but the incident happened.
Oh, the incident happened.
Next
month. But for July, I have a special mention that in July, the band Jack Black has a band called Tenacious D. And he and his mate who in the band, they performing in Australia, and Trump was doing his re-election campaign, and someone had a pot shot at him and got him in the ear.
Yeah, that's what I put for July.
And so on, and the guy made a joke on the thing about going to the next Trump rally, saying, "Next time, don't miss Trump." And I don't think anyone in Australia really gave a shit, because that's just funny. But yeah, no, he had to apologise, and they cancelled the rest of the tour, bloody snowflakes. But yeah, Tenacious D, that was my special mention. But mine was, this is possibly one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. An Indian railway worker named Santosh Lahar. He was at his job in a place called Baihan. And he was having a nap. He was sleeping, probably doing shift work, so he was having a sleep, when he was woken up because he was bitten by a snake. And they have some very, very deadly snakes over there in India. He was bitten by a snake. He was so enraged at being bitten by a snake that he bit the snake back, not once, but twice. The snake died from the bites. He went to hospital and recovered. So the snake bit him, and he bit the snake twice and killed it. Which I think that's brilliant.
Right.
What is he? When often would your first thought be, right, I'm biting your back? Especially a snake. They're mad in India. They're just mad. In a good way, but they're mad. All right, your July one was the Trump.
Yeah, Trump got shot.
Trump got shot.
And then the next rally, everyone came with the band-aid.
Oh yeah, that's
with
right.
bandages on their ears.
He got shot in the ear, and it grazed his ear and bleeding, and they bandaged it up, and he had his whole ear bandaged up. So everyone in support put bandages on their ears.
South Park's got a lot of material for next season.
Oh.
Say that.
Just writing itself.
Okay, August is, we've got to do a mention in honour of Australia.
In honour of Australia, we had a pivotal moment in the Olympic Games where we affected
the world.
The world and the next Olympic Games going forward. We affected them with one name.
Hold on. So this year for the Paris Olympics, last year, sorry. You know, they're always thinking of new events to put in. You're
allowed to, the host country is allowed to nominate one or two
a new
sports that they can try. That's it, like BMX got in, and skateboarding and so on have been admitted over the last few Olympics.
So last Olympics, they decided that one of the sports they were going to put in was breakdancing. Yeah. And that was quickly cancelled for all future Olympics.
For one name.
Ray Gunn.
Rachel, her name's Rachel Gunn. Got the name Ray Gunn. Sounds pretty snappy, but I don't know.
Do we need to say much?
I don't know what happened at the Australian, because normally the way it looks by her performance was anyone can just go up to the Australian Olympic Committee and go, yeah, can I get in the Olympics? I could run up and go, oh yeah, I'm going to run the 100 metres.
She just wanted a free holiday.
Because no one checked. Like, it wasn't even bad. Sarah rang me and goes, you got to see this breakdancing performance.
The women's Australian breakdancing.
Because you saw it live, didn't you? You were watching it. You're watching it as it happened, as it unfolded. We're still working out which was, like, which one was worse? Her performance on 9/11. It was one of them.
We're talking about like infamous events that we witnessed throughout history, and you always talked about how you saw 9/11 be broadcast live.
Yeah, we saw that, like, the second plane hit the tower.
And now I get to tell my children that I witnessed the tragedy that was Ray Guns breakdancing live.
And I'm going, it can't be that. Okay, she was shit. She didn't do a good
You're
job.
exaggerating.
And I don't know. So it was a bad effort. I looked at it. It wasn't even breakdancing. It was some sort of
dance.
Some sort of anaphylactic shock fit on live from around the world to see. It was so bad that they have cancelled breakdance. She got, like, even if I went out there and just tried a few moves, I'd get a couple of points. She got bupkis. She got nothing.
You know when you watch the Olympics and you're like, I could bloody do that? That was the first time I actually believed it when I said it. And I was probably right.
I could do that. I could do better than that. You could.
Okay, so because we both knew that we were going to put Ray Gun down, we decided to put another event.
Yeah, there was a moratorium on Ray Gun. So what did you go with for August?
I put It Ends With Us press tour controversy.
Yeah, that was a train wreck.
The controversy was bigger than the movie, it feels like.
Oh yeah, it overshadowed the movie.
So we've already covered this before, but for anyone that doesn't know, It Ends With Us is a book by an author named Colleen Hoover. And Colleen's mother was a victim of domestic abuse. So Colleen Hoover wanted to write a book to, answer the question, like, why doesn't she just leave the relationship? She wanted to write a book from the victim's POV, so, you have a better understanding of why it's not that simple to just leave an abusive relationship. And, it was an extremely popular book. It was a bestseller. So Justin Baldoni, who best known from Jane the Virgin.
Did he have something? Yeah.
Jane the Virgin.
He was in it and directed it or something like that?
Yeah, so he was the director and the male lead. So he played the abusive boyfriend/husband Ryle in the movie alongside the female lead, Blake Lively. And it's still an ongoing controversy now.
It's getting worse. It didn't get any better.
So basically what happened was, obviously, it's a blockbuster movie, so they're doing a massive press tour for it. And people started to notice that Blake Lively and the rest of the cast were doing press without Justin, which was very confusing because not only is he the male lead, he's the bloody director of the movie. So why isn't he doing press for his own movie? And then people started noticing a pattern between Justin and Blake. Justin was always talking about domestic abuse and spreading awareness and promoting different organisations that help women and other victims of domestic violence. Whereas Blake was just talking about
her floral
grab
dress.
Your girlfriends, wear your florals, and come watch the movie.
It was like a promotion for her floral dress that she was wearing.
Yeah, it was
bizarre.
It was like she was promoting it like it was Barbie or something. Like it was just like another rom-com.
It was. The way she was promoting it didn't have anything to do with the seriousness of the subject of the movie.
And she was using it to promote her brand new hair care line at Target, and everyone's like, that's fine, but what, you do a different movie.
Talk about the core points of the movie.
Like, the whole point of the movie is spreading awareness for victims of domestic violence, and you're just making such lightheartedness out of it. And then now Ryan Reynolds is also a villain in the story. There's a whole lawsuit.
He's standing up for his wife. That's understandable.
No, it's not just that. He was a producer in the movie for some reason.
Oh, he got credits or something, didn't he?
And he was like rewriting scenes in the movie, and then Blake started rewriting scenes, and then Justin eventually just went fuck it and just stayed out of it, and it's like it's not even his movie anymore, and Blake and Ryan have taken control over it. And people were saying that hadn't read the book, they're like, wait, this is a movie about domestic violence before going into the movie, which I understand what they're doing, because even in the book, you're supposed to romanticize their relationship at the start. So you're supposed to fall in love with Ryle as the love interest, like Lily does.
And then see him as a bastard later.
So when he starts showing red flags, you excuse them like Lily would, and you see her understanding. So I can understand going in blindsided like that, but it's a pretty big trigger for a lot of people. So you probably want to prep them. Go, hey, this is a movie about domestic violence.
Yeah, there are domestic violence
there
themes
are going to be
and so on in it.
Scenes regarding physical violence,
domestic
sexual
abuse, violence towards women. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's just now there's a massive lawsuit and
It got bigger. But I remember I sent you the TikTok last week. Now Blake and I think Ryan was suing Justin. For however much money. He is now suing them
counter-suing them
for $350 million for defamation and slander and all this other stuff.
So
why can't we all just get along?
Blake, when she sued Justin, started showing some of the text messages. Justin, when he countersued her, showed all the text messages.
Yeah.
So that's when he was like,
So it's just stuff that should have been kept behind closed doors is now being out in the public. I, for August, went a little bit more light-hearted again with the Olympics. The French home nation had a pole vaulter who it was a good day and a bad day for him, depending on how you want to look at it.
Depending on what you want to be remembered for.
Yeah. Now, as a key for this, anyone my age will remember. Was it Matt Shervington? No.
What are you asking me for?
I can't. I can't remember now. One of our runners had this issue. He was trying his third attempt, trying to get over the height. As you know, you have 3 attempts at each height to try and get over. On his third attempt, he made it. Almost. He managed, as he went up, you sort of go up and you pivot over and you sort of go over sort of chest and sort of stomach first and come down. And he almost made it, except, how should I put this, his pole vault, his other pole vault hit the bar. He hit the bar with his dick. His dick was too big. It was a lump in his pants, and he must have been excited that day about his event. But
you know what?
It was a bulge, and it was big enough to hit the bar and knock it off.
You know what? In all fairness, does anyone remember who was the gold medalist?
No one remembers the gold medal. No. They remember this guy's dick hit the bar and knocked it off.
Exactly. So that's what matters.
Anthony Aminati, good on you, son.
Which reminds me, another thing that I didn't put on my list, but you've just reminded me of the Olympics.
Yep.
There was a men's beach volleyball game that got a lot of backlash. So it was Netherlands versus, I can't remember what country it was. But basically, they announced this country and then the players from this country and here are the Dutch players. And person, and there was one male Olympian
that's a very nice person.
That people from both, even the Dutch supporters were booing. What? He's a convicted child toucher.
That's a new term that's being introduced into the dictionary. A child toucher.
That's the YouTube-friendly version.
He had an unhealthy relationship with children.
Steven van der Velde was allowed to go to the Olympics. How many junior Olympians did we have this year? There's more junior Olympians every single Olympics. And he's allowed to just walk amongst them.
Well, if you look at the events like gymnastics and so on, there's tons of 15, 16-year-olds in these events. Even, I don't know whether they're allowing them younger still, but there's tons of children, essentially.
And even though the children, aren't allowed to be at the Olympic Village without a guardian. That's not the point. You're not only choosing who's best at the sport in your country, you're choosing who you want to represent your entire country.
Who you see as a good representative of your country.
And you choose a child toucher.
These aren't allegations either.
These are convictions.
He had a conviction for inappropriateness towards underage persons, which...
Anyway, I think he got sent home early after all the outrage and backlash. But anyway, just thought I'd like to bring that up.
All right. Can you lighten the mood with September?
Yes, I can.
Excellent.
The Australian icon, the Melburnian icon. You know, I chose something local,
Right.
close to home.
We have so many.
Pesto. The
Oh,
Penguin.
I was going to go Pesto, but I'd actually written something down for
Pesto
September.
the Penguin and Mudang.
Oh,
know
the hippo.
Mudang?
Was it? He's the hippo?
Yeah, from Thailand. But, you know, we're biased because we're from Melbourne, so we've got to go Pesto the Penguin.
I hadn't heard about Mudang until I was researching this and saw it
Really?
alongside.
It was like the big, like, Pesto versus Mudang and all this stuff. So, I think the Melbourne Aquarium had, like, record ticket numbers. There were lines for days, people all over the world wanting to see Pesto the Penguin.
And now, penguins are quite a cute little animal, and a young baby penguin is sort of more fluffy than sleek because their feathers haven't like thickened up and become sort of the water resistant things that they do become. But that wasn't why was Pesto so
obviously he had like his baby feathers and stuff, but he was the size of an adult sized emperor penguin. He was just as tall as his parents.
He was a chunky boy. It's imagine the shack of the penguin world. Feel sorry for his mother because Jesus wept. I'm going, what's so... Dancing Danny and Sarah going, no, look at a picture. And there's all the other baby penguins and there's Pesto. The thing was... We should have heard the screaming from its mother from our house.
There were lines for days going into the aquarium. Like, people that live near the aquarium or like work near the aquarium were filming from their skyscraper windows. The line just to see Pesto at the aquarium.
It was an enormous bird. And but the moo, whatever it was, Mudang.
From the Thailand zoo. It's just like a cute little hippo.
But was it a tiny hippo or just a cute hippo? Because I only saw like one or two pictures.
I don't know how... I know he was tiny.
Pesto was massive, but...
I know he was tiny, I just don't know, like...
Was he really tiny for a hippo?
I don't know if he's tiny for a baby hippo. Yeah. But he was a cute hippo.
All right, I can... There's a guy... It's Spain. We're going with Spain here. I've gone sort of oddball crap with mine, as you probably know.
If you couldn't tell already.
There's a guy called Ernesto Renarius Varia, I think his name was.
Just like his parents would have pronounced it.
Yes, impeccable.
Just like
impeccable.
his mother said.
He decided to start a business in Spain in September, and it was catered to weddings. And there's many different things you can cater to in weddings, from decorations and cakes and wedding planning and dresses and music and venue hire and so on. He wanted to get in a niche market that no one had hit before. So he, for €500, if you weren't quite sure about the wedding, if you were still hedging your bets, he would turn up for €500. He would turn up and disrupt the wedding. He would just turn up and completely fuck the wedding up as an unruly person, right? Guests, this is advertised on his thing, guests could even slap him in the face, but there was a €50 charge per slap. Now, he started this thing as a joke, right, as a bit of a joke, but it became so popular that by December he was fully booked. So at €500 a go, he would turn up, get a free meal, it's a wedding, a few drinks, and how easy is that going to be? You turn up to a wedding, it's free booze, so you get shit-faced, and then just...
Is it the bride and groom hiring him, or is it just one of the guests?
From what I could read,
you know what would be really funny?
Yeah, the best man. Hey, oh, it's a great idea.
You wait for your wedding present. You're gonna love it.
You turn up and ruin your mate's wedding. From what I could read, it was like if the bride or the groom having second thoughts, but you're a bit close to the wedding. You don't want to piss people off. You don't want to be the reason that it all goes pear-shaped. You don't want to have that stigma on you. You could hire an Esto, turn up and ruin things for you. €500, which is about...
800, no more than that.
No, it'd be about $800 Australian, roughly about that. About $800 Australian.
Did they have any examples as to like ways that he would?
They didn't. It just said you could slap him in the face. Guests could slap him in the face. But it was a €50 charge.
It's like to imagine like he turns up to the wedding as a guest and people are just kind of, does anyone know who this guy is? And the bride's like, oh my God, there you are.
Yeah, there's the first hint
and everyone's like, are we supposed to know
I just
who
thought
this is?
that he's definitely got a niche market there that no one else. Now, I said I'd let you go with October first because I think I know which one Sarah's chose.
I chose the launch of Lunchly.
No, I didn't know.
No.
I looked at it and went, oh, you're definitely going to be saying that.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So YouTubers Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul teamed up to create an alternative to a competition to Lunchables, where it was basically like very similar to Lunchables, but it was supposed to be healthier, a healthier alternative to Lunchables.
For kids, for their lunch, for school, and so on.
However,
it went well.
People started finding mold in the Lunchables.
Now, Mr. Beast, this guy's got some dollars. Like, this guy's not short a dollar. Neither are Logan or KSI. But Mr. Beast would have the biggest wide.
He's the biggest YouTuber.
But like KSI and that, they've got some dollars behind them.
One of the things they were
pay the money to have this checked.
One of the things that they were bragging about is like it's got, they were saying, look at Lunchables, it's got all these preservatives in them, and then they learnt why preservatives are kind of important
because
in processed foods.
They preserve items. The clue's in the title.
Yeah, I couldn't really, I'll be honest, I couldn't really find anything for October, and I just thought that was a funny, oh yeah, that did happen moment.
Now, Firstborn here should have known this one because you actually mentioned this to me, and I'd forgotten about it till I Crumble Cookie. There is
I'm pissed off
cookie
that I didn't think of that.
In America called Crumble Cookie.
It's a cookie chain.
And someone here
where they make loaded cookies.
This massive cookie, beautiful. It's supposed to be the most beautiful cookie in the world.
Well, no.
And so someone here just did a little pop-up saying, come down and get your crumble cookie in Sydney. They paid the money, got the pop-up going. Come down and get your crumble. People turned up and there it is, crumble cookie, proper crumble cookie, and they're all buying it $17.
$17 a cookie.
Yeah, it was about $17.50 or something a cookie, which is $17.50, near on $20 a cookie. Something it wants to be a good, but no, apparently they're the greatest cookies ever.
Oh my God.
And people are eating them.
Did he win? Yeah, he won.
We've got the Australian Open tennis men's final going in the background.
Sinner just won.
Yes, I think he did. Yes.
Yeah, 3 sets.
Yeah, he won in 3.
Best.
Yeah. So, but what had actually happened was this wasn't sponsored or in any way authorised by the Crumble Cookie Corporation. What had happened, and this, how the fuck they did this and got away with it, I don't know.
I believe I forgot all about this.
The couple of people from Australia went, let's get some money together. They flew to America, bought a metric shit ton of crumble cookie.
500 crumble cookies.
Right, and then just brought them back to Australia. How they got them through customs, like food items, through that many without a proper, license or proper documentation to bring a commercial quantity of food into the country. I mean, you get stopped at customs and you don't declare food items in your bag and they fine them. You're in deep shit.
They shoot you.
Yeah, they take you at the back and there's a lot of thwacking of rubber gloves and stuff.
That's why Border Control Australia is so...
Take a look, 500 crumble cookies. through custom. How the fuck they did
We
that?
missed out on the best episode of Border Control there could have been on the
Like, how the hell they got caught, right? Obviously, because people started complaining that this isn't.
They're so stale.
They were stale because the crumble cookie part of it.
Believe it or not.
It's freshly made crumble cookie, so it's got that freshly baked, beautiful, sort of soft thing to it. These have spent 10 hours on a plane. They've been bought, then they've got to get them to the airport.
Who knows when they bought them?
Then they've got to get them on a plane, they've got to get them back, then they've got to get them through customs in Sydney, then they've got to get them to the event, set the event up. So there's days. There's at least, even if you do it as quick as possible, you've got 3-4 days there. And these cookies are now solidifying. They're firming up, so people are going, this is just looks like a hard, biscuit now, rather than a cookie. It's like a crispy biscuit. So they're saying, "Oh, come and get a crumble cookie," like copyright infringement all over the joint for using their name without permission. So they got fined. They made a crap ton before they got rumbled.
Did they get fined?
Yeah.
Before the business crumbled.
Before, oh god. And
You said
they
rumble, and I'm surprised you didn't make the joke.
they had to pay back basically all the money plus a nice little.
I didn't hear about the follow-up lawsuit and everything. I knew about the event.
Oh, they got done, and I think they had to pay back the money they made plus a little kick in the nuts to go along with it. Something else. The only other thing I got from October was he One Direction member?
Yeah, Liam
Payne fell out of his fell off his hotel balcony, his
in
third story
Argentina.
hotel in Argentina. I wasn't really a fan, but yeah, everyone was pretty sad by that. He I don't think he was suffering from any depression or anything at the time, but they did find
he's been on like a downward spiral for years.
They did find alcohol and something called pink cocaine in his system. I don't know how big the doses were, but yeah.
He had like a very public divorce with his ex-wife, and then he's just been on a very big downward spiral.
All right, so that was a happy note to finish October on. November for you.
I had the release of the movie Wicked.
Yes, that was quite big. I haven't seen it. You saw it?
I really loved it. The musical Wicked. I
With,
feel with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
The ever shrinking Ariana and Cynthia.
Jeff Goldblum.
I think her waist is now that big. They looked. I saw the photos for this on the internet when I was doing this research. They look painfully undersized.
So all the controversy from like 2 years ago of Ethan Slater leaving his wife for Ariana Grande.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Can you imagine being Ethan Slater's wife? Now everyone's talking about Wicked and stuff like that. Everyone's all excited for Wicked because you can't escape it. Even now, you still can't escape the Wicked promo.
Apparently, it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Everyone loved it. So more power to them. They did a good movie.
That was part 1. And then part 2 comes out November this year.
Oh, there was a part 2 to it.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's the movie adaptation of the Broadway musical.
Right.
So the Broadway musical in total is like an hour and 50 minutes, so almost 2 hours. This movie was nearly 3 hours, and this was part 1. So this was only act 1 of the musical.
Christ on a bicycle. Who did it? The crew from Lord of the Rings? What?
So, Act 2, Part 2, which is Wicked, Wicked for Good, is, comes out in November, and that's based on Act 2 of the musical. So we're currently in the intermission at the moment.
Right. Well, for me, for November, again, quirky. In Shanghai, in China, they had an exhibition because in China and Japan and all the Asian countries, they love their technology. They're known for their technology, their inventions, their robotics. Very, very cluey with robotics. They had a robotics exhibition, and of course in the place they've got all security cameras up. And what they witnessed, and I called immediate bullshit when I read this story, but then there was a video showing it. There's a robot named Erbai, Erbai, Erbai. He went around and, as they put it, kidnapped. This is at night. He kidnapped or convinced other robots
You did tell me.
to fucking leave with him. There's video of this one robot just going around and going past all the other robots. They're all sitting there on their chargers, powering up, and it sort of goes near them, and they can communicate, these robots, and it basically just communicated to them to follow him. And I'm going, oh, bullshit. They're all leaving. There's about a dozen of them all left with him, and this is boding well for the future of humanity. These things that are essentially glorified Roombas communicated with each other and fucked off from an exhibit. And the wife wants to get a Roomba. Oh, no.
Just back to Wicked for a second, because I just remembered a fact I learnt today. Wicked has just passed Mamma Mia as the highest grossing Broadway musical movie adaptation of all time.
Oh.
So that's above Mamma Mia, that's above Grease, it's above Les Mis, Chicago, all these...
Lion King. Cats.
Oh, don't. I'll get angry. I'll get very angry.
Cats. All right. To wrap the year up, and I haven't got much for December, what did you find? I hope you found something good. I didn't find shit.
Luigi Mangione, I think that's how you say his name.
Oh, is that when he was...
Arrested for allegedly shooting Brian Thompson, the United
Oh,
Healthcare CEO. And now everyone is thirsting over Luigi while the trial's going on.
I thought, oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. I thought he killed himself, but no.
No, he allegedly shot the
The CEO.
of United Healthcare.
And people were cheering because he did it, because they're saying the healthcare industry benefits from other people's misery and so on and so forth. And yes, healthcare providers in some cases do deny claims and all this sort of stuff and can be bad in that way, but I don't know, I just thought it was a little inappropriate when they were celebrating this guy just getting shot from behind, shot dead on the street. Got a wife and kids and so on, so, you know.
Celebrating Donald Trump getting shot.
He didn't die and he's a twat. He's the tangerine tyrant.
Before we get to that, I've got a trivia question.
Right.
About the shooting.
Right.
What was inscribed on the bullets?
Oh, there was. I can't remember. I do remember there's something inscribed on the bullet.
Deny, defend, and depose.
That's right. I think it's a famous thing.
Yeah, delay, deny, and defend is what it's referencing.
Okay. In December, for me, I know people like Spotify Wrapped. The wrap up from Spotify.
I've got my Spotify Wrapped.
Apparently, now what did you think? Did you think it was shite? Were disappointed?
Mine, I'd say, was actually accurate, but I heard a lot of controversy about it.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of people got Drake on their Spotify list when they didn't listen to Drake or something.
It's like getting the U2 album that we didn't want.
Forever.
Just it ended up on everyone's playlist. I had that, and then as Sarah mentioned something that just happened recently, within the last day or so, I came across a tweet or just a post from Elon Musk, our favourite wacky billionaire. And surprise, surprise, the man that did the big salute.
Roman salute.
He claimed it's the Roman salute where and then puts his hand up. The problem is that's a bit of Hollywood bullshit. The Romans never saluted like that.
Well, the thing is, America's actually used to do that in like schools and stuff when pledging allegiance to the flag. But for some reason, they stopped doing that around the 1940s.
Yeah, we're 41. about 41 when they went on holiday somewhere. The Americans, didn't they? They went on holiday somewhere in 41. They joined us.
I don't know why.
He'd been on this summer vacation since
I don't
39.
know why they stopped doing the split. Mystery.
But now, surprise, surprise, Elon Musk is backing. It's election time in Germany. He's backing the far right political group AfD. Just the man, dear Lord.
But it was a Roman salute.
It was a Roman salute. And
on a completely unrelated note,
there was a couple of people on TikTok who started about it, going, oh, if that's all right, if that's just a normal thing to do it and film yourself doing it and post it. And up until now, no one's taken him up on the challenge. Oh, no, I think one woman did, and she was immediately cancelled. What's his name? That Danish guy. He's really funny. He calls people out for crap that for being wankers on the internet and in real life, and he holds them to account.
I mean, the salute it's the same thing as saying, well, swastika used to mean peace.
Yeah, the swastika was a peace symbol at one stage until the Germans got hold of it. So
that's kind of how shit happens. Things get different connotations.
So that was the year that was
2024 Wrapped.
That was 2024 Wrapped. We might do this each year.
Maybe at the end of each month we find one thing that we
could do that.
Found funny or notable, worth mentioning.
We could do that. But if anyone wants to hear or see us review anything else,
if anyone wants Dad to watch Madam Web or Cats,
no,
both.
it's no, that won't be happening. That's you'd have to pin me down Clockwork Orange style
if anyone
and
wants
pry
me
the
to
eyes
explain, Dad, the saga of who the fuck did I marry?
No. So if anyone wants us to do any other reviews of anything else, of get both our opinions on that, we can do that. But look, I think I don't know how long this waffling shit has gone for. When did we start? I've got no idea now. I've got no idea now. But from both of us, we're going to get back to what we're doing here at the farm, and we'll see you on the next video.